Hello guys, and welcome to Over the Hill Hobbies. Today we're going to be marking glass with a laser using Tempera Paint. And I just got a new airbrush kit, so we're going to try airbrush instead of the foam brush. I've used this in the past. It works pretty well, but I think with the airbrush we'll get a more consistent coat. I'm going to get things set up and we'll get back. Alright, I got my mixture set up. I use the Handy Art Little Masters Black Tempera Paint. Seems to work really well for me on the glass, and 91% isopropyl alcohol. Mix it about a 50%, 50-50 ratio. If you're using an airbrush, you can probably want to at least leave it 50-50. As you can see, it's kind of runny. I don't know how well you can see that, but I use the foam brush to. If you're going to paint it with the foam brush, you can do that. Just make it a little bit thicker, and you're going to want to do just a real light stroke across the glass where you want to paint, and you don't paint it like you would traditionally paint. Alright, so we're going to give this a go, see how it goes. This is doing a very light coat, a lot lighter than I would like it. This, by the way, this is my first time using this. I'm trying to get used to it. I think that looks like a good coat. Let that one dry. We're going to go on to the next one. Alright, welcome back guys. This is the next day. It was we got a lot of rain and humidity out there, so the outside wasn't the best place for this paint, but it turned out pretty well. Everything's kind of frosted looking. Got a good even coat, a lot better than you can do with the brush technique, but the brush technique does work. And we're going to take one of these now and move it over to our laser and let you see what the results look like. Alright, we're back over here at the laser. One important thing you want to make sure you do is measure the diameter or the circumference perimeter of your glass that you're going to be etching, because you're going to need to put that in the software. I know this one's 83 millimeter diameter, so we're going to go ahead and get it mounted up in the chuck. I do my best not to touch the outside edge because that's the part that's painted. You don't want to tighten it too tight, but you want to tighten it tight enough that it'll hold. Alright, and I have the RA2 accessory kit. It's come to this handy little laser, which is super helpful for making sure you get things centered up. So we're going to go ahead and see how far off it is. Alright, that looks good and centered. Soft, let's throw our level on it. Make sure that it's good and level. And now we're ready to go move over to the software. Okay, we are in the xTool XCS version 1.7.8. I have chosen not to upgrade to the beta 2.0 just because there's been a lot of people having problems with connection issues and stuff like that. So I'm staying with this one. It works for what I need it for. We're going to go ahead and open up my project here. And make sure that you are on laser cylindrical. I'm using a chuck. The diameter is 83. As soon as you type in one or the other one, opposite one, will correct itself. So now we're going to do a distance test to make sure that we are centered. And we'll make sure the laser's centered when we do this. Alright, now we want to move the laser to the top edge of where you want and then I'm going to grab my image and center it. This has the snap feature turned on. You can turn that off because sometimes it can throw you off. If you go up to the top here, auto snapping, you turn it on and off. But we're there, so now I want to do so the settings for this laser and this glass that I have that I found to work the best are power 70, speed 120, and lines per centimeter at 200. I've tried several different ones, as you can see these up here. They just didn't look as good. I don't try to make big adjustments. I try to make slight adjustments. I was curious about the power being lower. It didn't seem to work as well as this one does. So I keep these up here for reference. They're set to ignore. But I kind of keep my notes on here as well. It makes it easier to keep up with what you've done. So anyways, so let's make sure we're sitting at 70, 120, and 200. We're going to do a framing to make sure that that this is going to be in the area where I want it to be. Oops. All right, and that is perfectly centered where I want it. We're good to go, so we're going to do a process here. Estimated time is 10 minutes. I kind of wish this would stay once you hit start, but it doesn't. So we're going to go ahead and process this, and we'll come back and take a look at it when it's done. I also get this a lot. Just click it again. Oh, and make sure your lid is closed. One more time. There we go. See how it looks pretty good. You also notice that I went when I was airbrushing these, I went all the way around. That's not necessary. I just was first time having the airbrush, wanted to do as much as I could for my test glasses and see how easy it was. But I think this turned out pretty nice. Now we just need to take it to the sink and get ready to wash it off. All right, let some warm water go. See how easy. I'm not even going to rub this first part. When you paint it on, you need to kind of rub it a little bit to get some of it off. It gets a bit thicker, but with the airbrush, it just kind of goes away. Some of those spots are a little bit tougher. You can take your hand, just kind of lightly rub across it. You buy these from Walmart, run with a little bit of water. peel right off. Alright, here's the finished product. All cleaned up. Got a kind of a light here. I'm doing on different angles to kind of give you an idea of what it looks like. That's just a black piece of cloth in there just to kind of make sure it highlights the engraving. Turned out pretty well.